So we're going to start in a seated position today. So you might choose to sit on a blanket or a yoga block, or even in a chair to get started. And in yoga, it's said so often, this concept of being present, the importance of being present. It's said so much, it's on so many stickers and t-shirts and things that it becomes almost cliche, that you forget the meaning of like why we would want to be present. And from the yoga tradition, the value of being in the present moment is because this is all we've got. Like, this is where life is happening. Life is not happening 5 minutes ago or 5 minutes from now. Life is happening right here, right now. And the more that we are fully engaged and present and allowing the truth of what's happening right now guide us, the wiser we are in our decision making. So we can all think about how sometimes we make decisions based off of past experiences that don't necessarily pertain to our experiences happening right in this present moment. And then we can get in a little bit of trouble. Sometimes we make decisions based off of anxieties about future things. If we're not in the present moment, that's when we miss stuff too. If we're receiving messages from our physical body and so forth. So in our practice today, we are going to practice being present. And I start with the question of what would it take? So what would it take for you to be present for the next 60 minutes? And maybe that means like moving your phone to another room. Maybe it means just saying, like, assuring yourself, I will get to the dishes, or whatever you left undone. Just know that any sort of thinking about it isn't going to get it done in the next 60 minutes. So really do what it's going to take for you to be present in this practice this morning. And then to help us, we have one of 3 different mudras that you could use, hand gestures. And I'd like to show these to you. If you are feeling kind of like highly active in your mind, then if you make a fist and wrap your fingers around your thumbs and place that on your legs, this is a mudra that just kind of takes all that frenetic energy and just brings it down. Now maybe you're a little low, like you're kind of like you could fall back asleep, or you're feeling a little like lethargic today, fatigued. Then if you were to have your thumbs look straight up and place that on your knees, this is a mudra of uplift and energy. And if you're unsure or feeling kind of like middle of the road, like, kind of not too high, not too low, then we can use our good old classic thumb to index finger. And this helps just create a little bit of spaciousness between thoughts and ground us in the present moment. So I invite you to close your eyes or find a soft spot to fix your gaze to. If it feels right, you can try one of these mudras: a soft fist, palms down for calming, a soft fist, thumbs up to the sky for energizing, thumb to index finger for neutral. And just come into this present moment and begin to embrace it. So begin by taking in the sounds. Notice the sounds far and close. And embrace the sounds, or perhaps the silence, as part of the beauty and magic of this present moment. Notice the smells, the scents. Take those in. Welcome them to be part of this present moment experience. And then the breath. That breath is always the beautiful anchor that really tethers us to living the here, living the now. This is all we have, is right here, right now. Our nasal breath is a wonderful breath because it just cleans the air a little bit better. It warms it up a little bit as it enters the body. Yet nasal breath is not mandatory if you're having cold or allergy symptoms. If you just feel a little lightheaded with nasal breath, you can always adjust as necessary. As you find this breath, affirm you're taking complete exhalations, full, complete exhalations. And as you inhale, allow the side body to expand. Full, complete exhalations, inhaling into that side waist, the side ribs. Maintaining this breath. Our two greatest gifts for being anchored into the present moment are breath and body. So as you enjoy this breath, I invite you to just start moving your neck. It could be side to side or slow neck circles, but just start to feel and be present in the sensations in the neck. There's not a right or wrong way to move as long as it's pain-free. Good, and then some shoulder movements. Maybe it's rolls or shoulder shrugs, perhaps squeezing your shoulder blades towards the spine and releasing. Good. Let this movement of your body anchor you into the present moment. Beautiful. Let the shoulders rest. We can open our eyes and release mudra. Taking just a little movement in your wrists and your fingers. Good. And we'll be bringing our legs in into the Z-sit. So both legs over to our left to begin. Finding our Z-sit series. We'll place this left hand on the center of the left thigh, and we're going to just help the thigh bone roll forward. And when that thigh bone rolls forward, your left sits bone comes away from the earth, and we can rotate to the right and look over the right shoulder. And then we'll do the opposite. So we'll just help the thigh bone roll back. Your sits bone might connect to the earth or just get closer to the earth, and then we'll roll our ribs to the left, looking over the left shoulder. Good. Take a full exhalation here, and let's connect this to breath. Inhale, thigh bone rolls forward. We rotate to the right. Exhalation, thigh bone rolls back. We rotate to the left. We begin to find this movement with our breath. If you're moving faster or slower than my cues, that's just fine. Allow yourself to connect to your inhalation, your exhalation, and also using your physical body, using the sensations that come up to practice being in the present moment. Good. Bring your leg back to neutral, right hand or fingertips to the earth. And we'll take that left palm facing the sky up and over to the left ear, a side body stretch. So you can even rotate your ribs over to the right. Come into that place where you feel the stretch through your left waist. And then you're going to lift your arm up just a little bit out of the stretch and then go back into the stretch. And we'll do that just a few times, just a small pulsation here. Working that edge of the stretch, just letting those fibers and those tissues find a little length without force, without pain. Good. And then hold for a breath or two. Option to lift your hips up away from the earth if you would like that little extra lift. Yes. Coming down to the earth. Fingertips then frame your right knee slightly in front of the knee space. Exhale out all the air. And on an inhalation, come into cow spine, lifting the tailbone, heart forward, baby lift of chin. Exhaling, cat stretch, rounding the spine. Again, with breath, inhaling cow spine, heart forward, shoulders back. Exhaling, cat stretch, rounding. Feel this beautiful movement up and down the spine. Bringing life to the whole spine, the pelvis, the shoulders. The jaw can be soft. Good. And then lift your heart space up, shoulder blades towards spine. Yes. Lifting upright, and we'll draw both feet over then now to our right. Z-sit. Left fingertips or left hand to the earth, just depends on arm length. Right hand will come to the center of the thigh, and we'll roll the thigh bone forward. Feel the right sits bone lift, rotate your ribs and lift over your left shoulder. And then the opposite, rotate ribs to the right, thigh bone rolls back. Good. Exhale out all the air here. Really complete exhale. And now we add breath. Inhaling, rotation to the left, thigh bone rolls forward. Exhalation, the opposite direction. Finding this movement with your breath. Taking time to feel. We can notice any asymmetrical feelings in the body. Yet can we notice this with more of a sensation of being curious? Just noticing. You don't need to label good side, bad side. If there's pain, just make little adjustments until the pain goes away. Good. Now at your next breath, we'll come back to neutral. So just where your hips naturally rest. Left hand or fingertips to the earth. Right palm faces up and we draw it up and over the right ear space. Good. Come into a place where you feel that stretch through the right waist, the right side body. And when you feel that stretch, lift about 1 to 2 inches up out of the stretch and then go back into it. And do this slow pulsation here. Just inviting those soft tissues into this new length, into this new space. Good. And then the next time you reach over that ear space, pause holding there. Option to lift the hips and reach through those fingertips. Breathe through your right waist. Slowly coming down. Fingertips or hands frame the left knee now, slightly in front of the knee. And we come to cat-cow. Exhale all the air first. So get the full exhalation. And then inhale into cow spine. Lift the tailbone, heart forward, baby lift of chin. Exhale, cat stretch. Taking this movement with your breath. There might be new sensations in your hips and your low back. Perfect. Neutral spine. Lifting upright, we'll extend our legs out in front of us, seated stack position, hands behind us to support the spine, and move the ankles and the feet and the toes, circling, pointing, flexing. Try to stretch your toes away from each other. Yes, now lift your heart up. Perfect. We'll then take our feet over to one side, coming into hands and knees very briefly, to then lift into both feet to the earth, forward fold, and then all the way up to the skies. Take a nice stretch up, and in mountain pose, arms come to our sides, and we'll take slow marching. So hands can be at your sides, on your hips, and we just lift one knee and then the other, and we take this side to side. So the first couple marches are just really to help our body figure out, what do I need to do to balance? Good. And we're going to, as we sink into this movement and the body learns what's necessary for balance, we're going to see how steady our pelvis can be when we do this. So we're really focusing on lifting the leg versus the hip. Keeping the breath full. Good. And then if it feels like a match, you can have your opposite hand touch the opposite knee. This cross-body movement actually kind of wakes up the nervous system, wakes up both hemispheres of the brain, getting all systems fired up. Good. And now just slow down the movement. Whatever you were doing, go half as fast. And mountain pose. Draw your weight side to side. Wake up the base of your feet. Softly bend the knees a few times. Good. Palms forward. Find your breath. A deep breath always begins with a complete exhalation. So start with that full exhalation. And our arms will then become expressions of our breath. As you inhale, lift the palms up. As you exhale, push the palms down. And just start to do that with your breath. Soft bend in the knees. Inhale up. Exhaling, pushing down. Be mindful that that exhale is so complete, so full. And on the next inhale, making the motion larger by bringing the arms all the way up, exhaling the arms all the way down to your sides with your breath. Adding forward fold, we'll still inhale the arms up. Exhale, big bend in the knees, hips back, forward fold, sweep the earth with your fingertips. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, bend the knees, hips back, heels to the earth, sweep the earth with your fingertips. Inhaling, long spine up to the skies. Taking this movement with your breath. At your next inhalation, hold your arms up to the sky. Interlace the fingers and press the palms upright. Feel the tops of your shoulders soften, so no shrugging necessary. Baby bend the knees and just slowly side bend side to side. Good. Arms come to our sides, and we'll find ourselves at the head of our mat. If you happen to have yoga blocks available, you can have those right next to your feet. And we'll take an inhale, sweeping the arms to the skies. Exhale, bend the knees, forward fold, and bring those hands to either the block or the earth, and step your right foot back into the runner's lunge. Good. Now we're going to have a yogi's choice here. You can either have your right knee lifted or right knee to the earth. Now right knee to the earth will just feel a little more grounding and stable. Right knee lifted can just feel nice, and if you have any sort of knee discomfort, keeping that knee lifted can feel best. So you decide, and then we're going to lift up, hands to hips or arms to sky. Find your breath. And if it feels right, optional side bend. Left hand to the left hip, and we side bend over to the left. Keep your hips neutral. The movement is just in the spine. Good, inhale back up. Woo. Exhale forward into your runner's lunge. Hands to the earth as you step back into your choice of plank. Knees lifted or knees lowered. Take a long draw in a breath. As you exhale, come down onto the belly, elbows graze your rib cage. Inhaling into a cobra, lifting your heart. Exhale, lowering down, coming for reverse plank, and then yogi's choice, child's pose or down dog. In either posture, connect with your hands to the earth. Continue to ask yourself, what would it take? What would it take to be fully present right here, right now? We'll meet in hands and knees. Step both feet forward, forward fold. On an inhalation, reverse forward fold. Exhale, arms to our sides. Inhaling, arms to the skies. Exhale, big bend in the knees, forward fold, hands to blocks or earth, and left foot back into the runner's lunge. Now think about symmetry. So if you had the knee lowered on the first side, you can lower the knee on this side. Find your pelvis neutral and slowly lift up, right? Woo, right heel to the earth. Some days balance is just more challenging than others. Extending the arms to the skies if you choose. If you like that side bend, then it's right hand to the hip or waist, side bend over to the right. Your pelvis stays neutral, legs stay exactly as they are. The movement is just a side bend in the spine. Go on, lifting back upright. Take a nice breath in. On your exhalation, slowly come into your runner's lunge. Hands all the way to the earth as you step back into your plank of choice, the top of a push-up with knees lifted or lowered. Take an inhale and breathe, lift your chin off chest. As you exhale, slowly lower heart down to the earth. Inhaling cobra, feet to the earth, heart lifts. Exhale, lowering down. Pressing up through plank of choice, and then yogi's choice, child's pose or down dog. When we practice being in the present moment, we don't miss things. We notice what's happening. So notice what's occurring and what's coming up in your body. Notice the thoughts. Good. Meeting in hands and knees. And stepping one foot then the other, forward fold. Inhale and reverse your forward fold. Exhale, mountain pose. Palms forward. Pause, connect to the breath. Take a full exhalation. Good. On an inhale, circle sweep the arms to the skies. Exhale, big bend in the knees, forward fold. Hands to blocks or earth, and step your right foot back into lunge. This time, turn your right toes to the back right corner of the mat and left toes to the front left corner of the mat, lifting up so your feet are wide, hands to hips. So it's heels in, toes out. As you exhale, sink down into a Devyasana, goddess squat. Inhale, lifting up. Take this slow movement. Affirm that the movement you've chosen feels good in your knees and your hips and your ankles. So make little adjustments. Maybe you bend deeper or less deep. Good. If you'd like to add those arms on the inhale, option to reach up. Exhaling, hands down through Anjali Mudra with breath. On your next exhalation, pause in your Devyasana, goddess squat. Find the breath. Feel the strength of your thighs. Good. Add length to your legs, unbend the knees, and we'll take this into a straddle fold. Just for a second, we'll turn our left toes to the head of the mat, walk our hands to free in the left foot, runner's lunge, and bring those hands to the earth, stepping back into plank of choice. Take a long breath in plank. Exhale down to the earth. Inhaling cobra, feet to the earth, heart lifts. Exhale, release. Pressing up through reverse plank, choosing child's pose or down dog, yogi's choice. Find your breath. Meeting in hands and knees, all fours. Stepping one foot followed by the other, forward fold. Inhale, reverse forward fold, reaching to the skies. Exhaling, hands to heart center. Good. Inhale, circle your arms to the skies. Exhale, forward fold, big bend in those knees. Fingertips to earth or blocks, left foot steps back into the runner's lunge. Then left toes look to the long edge of the mat, as do right toes, and hands slowly lift up to your hips. So it's a straddle, but this time the toes are forward versus in heels and toes out, so toes are forward. Good. Softly bend the knees, and we take this modified Devyasana here. So as we do this, it's really important that we ground our heels and push our gluteals back. So this new foot position, by design, we won't have as much depth when we lower. So don't feel like you're tight or something's wrong. It's this is just the way the human anatomy is put together. So it's more a focus on strength versus stretch. Yes, now hold this variation of squat, heels to the earth, heart lifted, breathing. Good, and take this down into straddle fold. Little inner thigh groin stretch, bend the right knee, lean to the right, bend the left knee, lean to the left, and do that side to side 1 or 2 more times. Turning then your right toes to the short edge of the mat, walking yourself into runner's lunge, and placing hands to the earth, stepping back in the plank of choice, knees lifted or lowered. Full breath in, exhaling down to the earth. Inhaling cobra. Exhale, releasing, child's pose or down dog, yogi's choice. Lifting up into hands and knees. Stepping one foot followed by the other, forward, forward fold. Inhale and circle sweep your arms up to the skies. Exhaling, hands to heart center. Good. Pausing here in mountain pose. Maybe adding one of the mudras that you chose from the start of the practice. Find a soft spot to fix your gaze to, and then let the muscles around the eyes soften. Take in this moment. Take in the temperature of your skin, the temperature of the air as it enters and leaves the body, the sounds. Take it all in. Practicing being present. The only life to live is what's happening right here, right now, right in front of you. We can release mudra and bring hands back to hips. And we'll be coming into a modified stork pose. So starting with weight in the right foot, baby bend your right knee, and then lift that left knee up. So it's kind of like the marching pose that we did at the start of our practice. And your toe could be on the ground or foot lifted. And if it feels right, option to bring your right hand over to that knee and hold. If it feels right, option to rotate your ribs to the left. When you change your gaze and where you look, it does challenge our balance. Go ahead, back to mountain. Roll out your ankles. Beautiful. Finding then that left foot to the earth, baby bend your left knee. And then we'll slowly bring that right foot up and into our stork. Again, toes might be on the ground. These are all just options from here on out. Option to place your left hand to the right knee. Option to rotate ribs to the right, and maybe turn your gaze to the right. That turning of the gaze really adds a special extra balance challenge. So do it slowly. You can be playful and curious. Back to center and mountain. Shaking it out. All right. Let's take a full exhale out, maybe even 2 exhales. And collectively take one big inhale, reach into the skies. Exhale, big bend in the knees, hips back, forward fold. Hands to blocks or earth, and right foot steps back into runner's lunge. We'll be coming into rotated lunge. Option to have right knee lifted or lowered to the earth, yogi's choice. Now, before we rotate the spine, we want to make sure we're not rounding behind the heart. So take a little baby lift to your tailbone to get that lumbar curve, lift your heart. And from there, left hand to left thigh. Rotate your ribs to the left. So this is our foundational revolved lunge. This is a great place to be. Keep feeling like your left hip is pulling back. Good. If you're inspired to reach your left fingertips up to the sky or even behind you, it's up to you. Notice what feels right. And affirm that your left knee is not swaying over to the left or the right, that it's really staying stacked over the left ankle. Good. Back to center. Now we're going to ground the right foot for a warrior 2 stance. Heel to arch of foot alignment. And from there, lift up and into our warrior 2. There's a bend in the left knee. The right thigh is strong, feeling the right thigh tone in towards the pelvis and up. Gaze is to the left fingertips. Breath is full. Finding a stillness here. After one more long breath in, exhale into the runner's lunge, framing the left foot, and step your right foot forward, forward fold. Inhale, reverse forward fold, reaching to the skies. Exhaling, hands to heart center. And breathe. On an inhale, circle the arms to the skies. Exhale, bend the knees, forward fold. Hands to blocks or earth, and left foot steps back into the runner's lunge. Coming into that rotation of lunge again. So let's find symmetry. Your left knee can be lifted or lowered, whatever you practiced on the first side. We get rid of the rounding behind our heart. So we get our lumbar curve with the tailbone, get our heart lifted. Good. From that neutral spine, right hand comes to the thigh. We can push down on the thigh and rotate our ribs to the right. Before we do anything else, we just kind of make sure our legs and hips are in a good position. So it's right hip drawing back, keeping your right knee over the ankle. If you wanted to reach your right arm up to the sky or behind you, these are options. One more long breath in. Exhale, slowly return to your runner's lunge. And ground the left foot for a warrior two stance. Heel to arch of foot alignment. Right toes look to the shoulders of the mat, left toes to the long. And you may lift up and into our warrior two. There's a bend in the right knee. Left back heel is grounded and left thigh is very firm and strong. Waist is tall. Good. Now when you're warrior two, it's important to notice, is my pelvis tipping to the right? And if it is, you might need to straighten your right leg, balance out your pelvis, and then re-bend with that balanced pelvis. From there, we can enjoy warrior two, a nice long breath cycle. Be present here, draw in this full present moment, the richness. Long breath in. Exhale into the runner's lunge. This time, hands to the earth as you step back into your last plank of the practice, knees lifted or lowered, and make your way down onto your belly. We'll be coming into a locust series to add strength to the spine. We'll start with our hands next to our body. So reach your fingertips down towards your toes, around your hips area, and have palms face down. From palms facing down, engage your belly just a touch, just like 10%. And then we lift legs, heart, and maybe hands and arms up away from the earth. So it's as many limbs and body parts away from the earth as is right and comfortable today. Avoid lifting your chin, so keep the back of the neck long. Take some breaths. There's strength coming into the back body. Welcome that. Notice that. Lowering down to the earth. Rest one cheek to the earth and just pause for a breath. We'll be coming into 2 more rounds of locust pose with different arm positions. So this first position is one you can return to or stay at. Second position is arms straight out to the side like the letter T, palms still or face down. So choose that position for your arms, and when you're ready, exhale out all the air, and then do a nice lift up and start breathing full big breaths in your locust pose here. Feel like your shoulder blades, regardless of where your arms are, feel like the shoulders are drawing away from each other. So away and then up. Draw your big toes a touch towards each other so your inner thighs are strong. And breathe. Good. Exhale, lower, and bring the opposite cheek to the earth. Third and final arm option, our arms into slightly overhead, kind of like a V shape. So not straight forward like Superman flying, but more like a V or a Y type shape. So find that arm position and then lift up into our third and final locust pose. Big toes slightly towards each other. Feel your spine strong. Arms lift, breath full. Good. Hand over hand, rest forehead down to your hands. Crocodile pose. First, let that whole back body relax and soften. Feel your hips softly swish side to side. And maybe even bend your knees and let the feet sway side to side. Need a little wider knees if you want that knee bend. Good, legs down to the earth. Hands under shoulders and slowly lift up to hands and knees. Good, feet to one side, legs come in front of us, and we're going to be making our way onto our backs. Placing your hands behind one thigh and rolling back. On your back, pause for a moment in constructive rest. Knees bent, back to the hands to the earth. Enjoy this position for the spine. This is generally one of the more relaxing positions for our spine, so soak that in. And we'll be coming into our 3 stretches for our legs. So sometimes we do these with a yoga strap, if you have one. So it's like a strap under the base of the foot, and we bring our leg into different positions, but we don't have to do it with the yoga strap. If you happen to have a yoga strap available, feel free to use it, strap up your foot. I'm going to do it without a strap. So I'll extend that right leg up to the sky. If you have a strap, just wrap it around the base of your foot. Hold the strap with both hands. If you do not have a strap, place your hands behind your right thigh. Left leg can be bent or straight. Good. Now just work that leg nice and long, heel to the sky. If your hands are behind your thigh, just 10% push that leg into your hand. Perfect. Now this right arm is going to come down to the earth. So you're going to bend it out, kind of like goalpost arms. So your palm's going to be face up, and we're going to open the leg and rest it in the palm of the right hand. So the leg is in external opening, inner thigh. Or if you have that strap, you just get to hold the strap in the right hand and move it over to the right. Feel that soft stretch in your right inner thigh. Work to keep your pelvic bowl neutral to the earth so you're not rocking over to the right. Perfect. Right leg comes up to the ceiling. And then if you have that strap, you can hold the strap in the left hand.
or no strap. We're going to be in a two-part stretch here, strap or no strap. So we're going to just move our leg over to the left just a few inches to start to stretch the IT band. So we're going to do the outer IT band, outer right hip stretch first, and then rotation. Good. Give that right hip just one more deep breath. And then we bend the right knee and just take this all the way over to the left into rotation. You can let your right foot rest on the inside of your left leg. Lovely. Let's come back to center. Take just one full body stretch. And then we'll switch sides. If you're using that strap, strap up your left foot, extend your left leg to the sky. No strap, we'll take fingertips interlaced behind the left thigh. Good. We're working the length of the leg. So feel like the outside of your knee is just lengthening that leg. Relax your jaw here. Notice if you're holding tension in your shoulders or throat or face. Let that soften. If you're using a strap, you can place both ends of the strap in your left hand to move your leg over to the left. If you're no strap, then that elbow comes down to the ground and we hold our left palm out to collect that left thigh. So we're just supporting that leg out to the side. Work to keep your pelvis neutral. Feel the sensations. Notice that with some of these longer holds, is it easier to stay present or harder to stay present? It's not right or wrong, you're just noticing. Noticing where your mind, where your brain, where your experience is falling this morning. Good, leg up through center. And then first it's IT stretch. So we just move our leg off center to the right by about 4 or 5 inches, not too far. We're holding that strap, it's in the right hand, just so we feel that soft stretch through that outer IT band, the outer hip. This is a historically kind of tight area on the body. And we take this then into full rotation, bending the left knee, rotating over to the right, left arm out to the side. So your left foot is just resting on the inside of your right leg. And back to center. Let's give both knees a gentle squeeze in. And then a nice full body stretch. And constructive rest. Bend the knees. Option to have the knees tent in on each other. And then close your eyes with the backs of your hands rested to the earth. And from this position, Notice where you are right now in the practice of being present.
Before we go into our full Shavasana, we'll take about 2 minutes of just breath and balance here. So if your mind is feeling very active, make a gentle fist with your hand over your thumb and have your hands face down. And notice if that helps calm the mind. If you feel like you're just going to fall asleep right now, then maybe try that thumbs up to the sky, like the okay thumbs up. If you're somewhere in the middle, thumb to index finger. Provided your body is pain-free, then let whatever is occurring right now to be enough. And just notice, does your body ask for another moment or two in this position or with this mudra? Is your body asking for a Shavasana, a relaxation? And give your body exactly what it's asking for. Regardless of the position you're in, bring a little extra softening to the face, the forehead, eyebrows, the jaw and cheeks. Welcome a little extra softening through the shoulders and the arms. The torso and the spine feel peaceful, settled. Feel your hips, legs, and feet soften. Present moment is inviting you into stillness. Allowing yourself to sink into this gift of this present moment. Become aware of your body resting on the earth. Welcoming some soft movement in your fingers and your toes. And then bending the knees as you rock over to right or left side. Take your time and rest on your side for a few breaths. The spine can be curved and soft. Lifting yourself into a comfortable seated position. Palms touch in front of the heart space. We open our eyes with a soft gaze to our fingertips. The light in my heart bows with honor to the light in your heart. Namaste. Thank you for being here. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful Monday.
Thank you, Haley.
You're welcome.
Great class.
Oh, good. Glad you're enjoying it.